All right. Giving all praises to Yah Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Hakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, shalom. I guess I'll title this lesson More Info on the Charlie Kirk situation. It's all a game, okay? And, I was doing a little research through the Spirit on this whole, situation, where Charlie Kirk got assassinated at the Utah University. I'm sure at this point everybody knows about it. They've globally spread it throughout the mainstream media throughout America. Okay, so everybody knows about it. Now, if you're locked into the Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you've been listening to, videos that the elders have done, that brothers have done. Okay, basically going into how, this whole thing is a stage. Now, Charlie Kirk, he really is dead. Okay, he got shot in the neck. I seen the video of him getting shot in the neck. All right, you can't CGI or fake that. He's dead. All right, but it does not mean that Esau does not have his hands in the whole situation. Esau, set the whole thing up, okay, to kill a couple birds with one stone, okay? That's got a lot of people, that whole assassination has a lot of people on edge. A lot of these right-winger, MAGA, America, home of the brave individuals, they believe that they're being attacked, and now they believe that they got to go on the offensive because Charlie Kirk got assassinated. What else did he do? It's got people ready to start a civil war out here. And then it just fuels the narrative that, the U.S. government needs to lock down this country because people are getting assassinated. There are terrorist attacks. People are not safe. So, this justifies the U.S. government with moving in with more strict legislation to lock down cities, set up more surveillance, right? And basically turn this country into a police state. OK, now, what I found interesting, okay, about the the suspect, all right, the person who allegedly killed Charlie Kirk, all right, is he has something in common with all of the recent mass shooters that have been documented as of recent. Okay, it's pretty much the same story. It's the same formula. Okay, and we're going to read a little bit about this, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so it says Charlie Kirk suspect confessed in hidden note to roommate, prosecutors allege. Okay, now you notice how all of these goddamn shooters, they all have a some sort of manifesto, some sort of note that they always want to leave behind. Okay, and in that note, there's always some, basically some, what can I say, a motive behind why they, shot up a school, why they assassinated such individual. It's the same thing over and over again. Well, Esau, okay, is setting up these, these crises, right? And, he's got these alleged suspects, okay, he's basically painting them out to be the animal, okay, and he wants to make them seem like they're terrorists, right, that, they just have a sinister agenda to just murder people, and, they're radical left-wing extremists, so, this pushes a certain narrative. This pushes the that the left wing is they're terrorists and they need to be stopped. And the liberals are taking over the country. At least this is what the local Edomite thinks. Okay. And this is all, the global elites. This is all they want to do. They don't give a damn if it's fake or not, if it's fake news or not. It doesn't matter. It's about rousing up the people with false narratives. Okay. And all of these goddamn shooters and these paid off assassins, okay, they all have this shit in common to where they leave some manifesto, right, about why they did it. Okay. Every single time, man. All right. You got to look at that as a coincidence. OK, that's Esau written all over it, man. OK, that's the devil. Now, let's get let's see. Yeah, it says the prosecutor also shared text messages between the roommates, including one in which the defendant allegedly said he shot Kirk because he had enough of his hatred. You see? So now they're painting people who basically disagree with the American dream, right? The American programming, because, Charlie Kirk, he was a nigga that, he was a right winger. He was a make America great again, advocate. So, the people that are, well, the way Esau frames it, he's making it seem like, people are, getting fed up with the right wing agenda. Right. And he's playing two sides against the middle. You know what I'm saying? Because, this suspect, he allegedly he's saying that, I've had enough of the hatred. I've had enough of the hatred. I'm just going to kill him. All right. And that's the perfect narrative. OK, that's the perfect narrative to bring about more heavy legislation to start locking shit down. OK. And Donald Trump is a right winger. He's, the MAGA comes, that slogan comes from him. Right. That comes from his administration. So, on the surface, he's not going to take too kindly to these characters that are, pretty much doing these mass shootings and assassinating political leaders, all in the name of, what could I say? All in the name of being a liberal or something like that, or these left wingers are killing these right wingers because the right wingers are spreading hate. Right. So, they're setting it up to where Donald Trump, he's going to start coming down with heavy, rules and regulations upon individuals that do this type of madness. Right. And like I said, it's all a stage, man. OK, this is all a game. All right. This is all a game that the global elites are playing, man. Who knows if this guy even really shot Charlie Kirk, man. OK, it could have been a real operative agent and he's just the fall guy. OK, it's all a game. All right. But it's a narrative that's being pushed to get people roused up and to just, further confuse people, man. But when you have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you can look between the curtain, man. All right. Let's get something. Yep. It says describing the hidden note at a news conference earlier on Tuesday. Mr. Gree said the defendant had sent a text message to his roommate reading, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." After reading the apparent confession, the roommate, who has not been named and is cooperating with investigators, replied, "What? You're joking, right? This shit is corny, man. All right? This is all a joke, man. Okay? Fucking corny." You know what I'm saying? Esau is sloppy, man. He's leaving breadcrumbs everywhere, man. All right? It says, "I had enough of his hatred." Mr. Gray cited the messages. "Some hate can't be negotiated out. You weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry." This is a joke, man. You know what I mean? This sounds like somebody wrote this and is basically framing, this guy who they said allegedly killed Charlie Kirk. This sounds like somebody wrote this for him, man. This is all one big ass script, man. Okay? It don't even sound real. All right? Let me see. What else they got? Let's see. Right. Yeah, so basically, the suspect, let's see what this says. It says the suspect also allegedly told his parents that there is too much evil and the guy spreads too much hate. So they're making it seem like the right wingers are under attack. And this is what's going to force Donald Trump and his administration to go on the offensive and say, we need to ramp it up. We need to put more surveillance out here. We don't know who's planning the next assassination. We don't know who's planning the next mass shooting. We need to ramp it up. We need to get the National Guard everywhere because we got wild people like this that are planning domestic terrorism in our country. All right. This is what's going on, man. OK, this is what's going on. And really, the government is playing a more sinister agenda to bring people into the New World Order and to, merge people's biology with technology, man. All right. The MOTB, the mark of the BEAST. If you know, you know. All right. If you know, you know. OK. Let's get a scripture real quick. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11 in the New Living Translation. All right. NLT. It says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. OK. All right. We are familiar with Esau's propaganda. OK. And, we're familiar with his tactics, when he stages certain crises. All right. If your eye is, spiritual, all right, you'll be able to look between the cracks and see Esau's fingerprint all over it. OK, like this situation, you can see Esau's fingerprint all over it. OK, so these are the evil schemes that the devil is playing in front of the whole world. All right. And the majority of the people are going to fall for this, man. All right. That's why it tells you in the book of Revelation, there's going to be a lot of people that wandered after the beast, man. You know what I mean? Meaning that people are going to believe the beast. People are going to believe Esau, Edom. They're going to believe Fox News. All right. When they say that we need to stop domestic terrorism. So this is what we're going to do. People are going to believe it, man. All right. But those evil schemes are not going to disenchant the elect. OK, it's not going to, well, not disenchant, but enchant. OK, put an enchantment on the elect. We're not going to believe it because we have the eye salve, man. All right. Even these these so-called leaders that these people think, are, like powerful influences of this world. OK, even them niggas is getting outsmarted by Esau's propaganda. OK, you had that nigga Myron from Fresh and Fit. He's sitting there crying about Charlie Kirk. I seen another nigga crying. You know what I mean? Some fucking YouTube influencer that a lot of people look up to. So this witchcraft that's going on, man, it's some heavy enchantment, man. OK, it's some heavy enchantment. All right. Let me get this real quick. Deceive the elect. All right. Let's see. Yeah. So this is Matthew 24:24. It says, for there shall arise false Mashiachs, false Christ, false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders. And Esau is the ultimate false prophet. He's the ultimate false Christ. OK, that's what the MOTB system is set up. OK, it's set up to be a false Messiah, a false salvation. All right. It says, and shall shew great signs and wonders. All right. In so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So ultimately what that's saying is that these great signs and these wonders, which is witchcraft coming from Esau, Edom, OK, these great signs and wonders are going to be so strong. This witchcraft is going to be so strong that, it's a possible chance that it could deceive the elect, but it's not going to deceive the elect. All right. It's not going to deceive the elect, but it's just giving basically an example of how strong the witchcraft is going to be. It's going to be that strong to where, you know, the elect could, those who are of the elect could probably get bamboozled a little bit, but, not fully, locked in to Esau's propaganda. OK, because the Yahweh Shemiah Shai has given us the Rakak Wadash to, seek the truth and unravel the puzzle that, Esau is, putting out in front of the public, man. OK, so this is just an example. It's not saying that the elect is going to be deceived. It's just giving an example that this is how strong that witchcraft is going to be in the latter days, man. OK, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. All right. That's how strong it's going to be, man. So, if it's saying this, that means that the average person is through. The average person is just going to fall for it, hook and sinker, man. OK, no doubt. The average person is not going to be able to, read between the lines, man. That's why you got all these niggas still crying about some damn Charlie Kirk, not even knowing that all of this shit is set up, man, for a more sinister global agenda, man. OK, now let's get another example. All right. This is something that I found a coincidence. OK, who is Tyler Robinson's roommate? Damn it. God damn it. Hang on. My bad. It says, who is Tyler Robinson's roommate? Lance Twiggs, boyfriend of Kirk suspect. Okay. So I guess this guy, Tyler Robinson, which he is the one that allegedly killed Charlie Kirk, he's a homosexual. Okay. He's a homosexual. And, this explains why, he supposedly felt so strong, right, to where he had to go and assassinate Charlie Kirk because, that conservative right wing rhetoric is all about make America great again, and making America great again is getting rid of homosexuals. That's what a lot of you faggots. That's what you forgot. OK, you forgot that make America great again means X out the homosexual. All right. When you go back to, let's just say the 1940s, Esau couldn't stand homosexuals, man. That's why homosexuals had to be in the closet in America. It was mainly Esau. Esau was the main one shaming the sodomite community way back in the day, in the early 1900s. That was Esau, man, shaming them. So, and they deserve to be shamed because they're sodomites. But I'm just giving an example that Esau, okay, these make America great again, MAGA hat niggas, okay, they still don't like Moes. They still don't like sodomites, man. All right. So this is another thing that's fueling the narrative. You know what I mean? Now these goddamn maggers, okay, these MAGA hat wearing niggas, now they got this mentality. Oh, these goddamn liberals, these it's the trans fault. It's the sodomites fault. It's the gay community's fault. Look, they're killing our leaders. You see? A psyop. OK, so you sodomites, you're going to be in trouble in America as well. All right. You're going to be in trouble in America, too. All right. It says Tyler Robinson, the man of assassinating Charlie Kirk, lived with a romantic partner who is transgender. You see that? It's all a game, man. The roommate was a romantic partner, a male transitioning to female. This partner has been very cooperative and had no idea that this was happening. Okay. And this supposed transgender partner of his probably doesn't even exist, man. At this point, I believe that they're just writing shit in articles, man. Okay. This guy, whoever this guy is, Tyler Robinson, he's just a ghost account. All right. None of this shit is, more than likely, none of this shit is real. OK, but it's just all to push the narrative, man. OK, it's all to push the narrative. All right. It says Robinson's political views have been at the center of debate since the 22-year-old's arrest on Friday, 2 days after the fatal shooting of Kirk. The conservative founder of Turning Point USA was killed as he spoke at Utah University on September 10th. Let's see if we can go down a little. Look, here's a good one. Good point. President Donald Trump sparked criticism after he blamed the radical left for Kirk's death before any details about the suspect or a motive were known. Liberals have since touted Robinson's conservative roots amid speculation about his political beliefs. You see? So, what they're pretty much doing, they're canceling out the left wing. All right. And they're staging certain events. They're staging certain crises. OK, so that way the left can look like the monsters and the aggressors. But they're all playing for the same team, man. OK, this is what you got to understand. The Democrats and the Republicans, they're all on the same team. It's all a part of the same agenda, man. OK, they're all working together, man. OK. Cox said Robinson's ideology was very different than his family and that there clearly was a leftist ideology. You see, they keep throwing that word left. He's a left. He's a left. He's a liberal. And this is all going to come after the prophets at some point, man. OK, because basically a liberal, the leftist ideology is based on free thinking. The left side believes in free speech and freedom to express yourself. OK, so they're going to full circle this all the way back to the men of the Lord. OK, and cancel out free speech and cancel out being outside of the programming. OK, this is a perfect justification for the U.S. government to say, look, everybody needs to be on one accord, which is what? The New World Order. OK, let's see. The governor's statement that Robinson had a transgender partner had led some to suggest Kirk was targeted for his anti-transgender views, though authorities are still investigating a motive. All right. It's all a game, bro. Now, I'm going to show you something else. Look at this. Check this out. Check how this correlates. Minneapolis school shooter ID'd as trans woman Robin Westman, as a parent manifesto included kill Trump. And I'm not even going to read this because I don't need to. I don't need to read this article. All right. I just need to read the headline. And you see how it all comes together. This is another mass shooting that, just happened a couple weeks ago. All right. And how ironic. The shooter was a goddamn trans, and it had a manifesto just like this guy Robinson had a manifesto, man. Come on, man. This is all this is the same formula over and over and over again, bro. All right. This is heavy witchcraft that's going on, man. All right. That's why you got to be locked into Yahweh Ba'Shim Yahushai, man, because it's some serious enchantments that are being thrown out there, man. All right. It's no coincidence that, now this shooter, pretty much, the situation is identical with what just happened with the suspect of Charlie Kirk, man. It's not a coincidence, man. OK, it's all a setup. OK, they're setting up a narrative, man. All right, to come after people who are so-called, who believe in freedom, who believe in, having free will. All right. They're coming after these type of people, man. People who think outside of the box. All right. Watch how they crack down on people who think outside of the box and free speechers and people who dare to go against the government, because now they're framing it to where, look, anybody who goes against the government and has the mentality of kill Trump, we gotta eliminate the problem before it even happens. OK, we have to eliminate the problem before it even happens. So, we got to make them our primary targets. OK, it's all a stage. It's all a game. Let me get this real quick. This is Ephesians 6:12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." OK, the global elites. All right. This is what we're, going mano y mano. OK, these are the people that we're going mano y mano with. Donald Trump and his flunkies. They're just pawns on the chessboard, man. They're nobody important for real. The ones who are really pulling the strings are, the global elites, man. All right. The families that control this world, man. All right. They're the ones who setting this up. They're the masterminds behind all of this. The U.S. government is just, all they do is just receive phone calls and take orders, man. OK, this is really the global elites strategy. All right. And this is what we're going up against. And you can tell that, everything that they're doing is rooted in witchcraft and keeping people in a state of uncertainty, rousing up spirits. OK, it's all a goddamn game, man. All right. Let me get this last scripture right here. We're going to shut it out. This is 1 Thessalonians 5, starting at verse 5. It says, "Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober." OK, you got to watch and be sober, man. These little crises that happen, man, don't just take it for face value and, be like 2/3 of our people, because you got 2/3 of our people, they're asleep. Niggas is on the internet crying for Charlie Kirk. Never even listen to Charlie Kirk. Never. All right. Didn't even know Charlie Kirk had his own show. Niggas just see the white man dead in that slave plantation, slave mentality pop out. Right. So Jake is sleep. We can't be sleep like Jake, man. We got to watch. OK, and pay attention and be sober. All right. Be sober on what this devil is trying to make us drink. Right. Which is his wine, which is his philosophy, which is his poison. OK, that could put you in a dark enchantment. All right. That could have your mind confused, man. All right. To where you don't know what the hell's going on. OK, the average person don't know what the hell is really going on with this Charlie Kirk situation. They just know that good old white man died. A good old Christian white man died. And, everybody should feel sorry about it, but they don't know how all of this correlates. They don't know how this, there's a more deep, dark, twisted agenda behind all of this. They have no idea, man, because they're not watching and they're not sober. OK, verse 7, it says, "For they that sleep in the night and they that be drunken in the night." Right. These people out here are drunk, man. They're drunk off of what they see on the internet. They're drunk off of, just taking what happens on TV as face value, and they don't do no further research, man. Because all I had to do was just look up a couple things, man. You know what I mean? It wasn't even hard to find all of this information. And then when you find this information, you know what I mean, the Holy Spirit put it together for you, man. You know what I mean? The Holy Spirit will piece it all together for you. All right. But people don't research. People don't care to research. They just listen to what the white man tell them, and they just go with it. OK, this is why it's important to be locked in to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man, so you can read between the lines, man. OK, because it's very critical in these times and crucial, man, that you read between the lines, man. All right. So that way you don't get bamboozled out here. All right. Because getting bamboozled by these enchantments is going to start costing millions of people in this country their lives, man. All right. Watch when that civil war happens, man. OK, which that's coming soon. You're going to have a lot of people are going to be out here killing each other over stupid ass beliefs that are not even real. You fucking liberal, you goddamn Republican. Niggas going to be killing each other over that stupid ass shit, not even knowing that the whole goddamn thing was a stage and they just killing each other for nothing. You see? So I just wanted to bring out this information, man, because I found out that I found this interesting. All right. And it came to me in the spirit, and I figured I'd share it with the hopeful elect that's listening. So Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praises once again to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Shalom. Shalom.